From picking up cricket at 20 to bowling for Sri Lanka, Nuwan Pradeep shows that dreams have no expiration date. Nuwan Pradeep's story reads like something out of a movie. Most cricketers start young, maybe at 5 or 6 years old, learning to hold a bat before they can properly walk. But Nuwan was different. He was already 20 when he first touched a cricket ball, and it wasn't even a proper leather one. Yet somehow, this late starter from Negombo became one of Sri Lanka's most respected fast bowlers. His journey proves that talent doesn't follow a timeline, and success doesn't care about your age when you begin. Born on October 19, 1986, in the coastal town of Negombo, Nuwan grew up in a country where cricket is almost like a religion. Kids dream of wearing the national jersey, playing at the same grounds where legends like Sanath Jayasuriya and Muttiah Muralitharan made their mark. But cricket wasn't calling to young Nuwan. While other boys his age were practicing their shots and bowling actions, he was living a completely different life. There were no early morning practice sessions, no coaching camps, no junior tournaments. Cricket simply wasn't part of his world yet. The turning point came in 2007 when Nuwan was already 20 years old. A local bowling speed contest was being held, and somehow he decided to participate. Nobody expected much from this newcomer who had never seriously played cricket before. But when Nuwan stepped up to bowl, something magical happened. His natural action, combined with raw pace that seemed to come from nowhere, impressed everyone watching. He didn't just participate in that contest, he won it. That single moment changed everything. The victory wasn't just about speed. It caught the attention of people who mattered in Sri Lankan cricket. They saw something special in this young man who had appeared out of nowhere. His bowling action wasn't textbook perfect, but it was effective. There was something about his approach that made batsmen uncomfortable. The selectors and coaches recognized that with proper training, this raw talent could be molded into something extraordinary. Following his success in the speed contest, Nuwan received an invitation that would change his life forever. He was asked to join the Sri Lanka Cricket Academy, the country's premier training facility where future stars are developed. For someone who had never played organized cricket, this was like being thrown into the deep end of a swimming pool. But Nuwan wasn't intimidated. Instead, he embraced the challenge with the hunger of someone who knew this might be his only shot at greatness. At the academy, Nuwan's dedication became legendary among coaches and fellow trainees. While others had years of experience to fall back on, he had to learn everything from scratch. The basics of cricket, the mental aspects of fast bowling, fitness requirements, match situations, everything was new. But what he lacked in experience, he made up for with an incredible work ethic. He would arrive early and leave late, constantly asking questions, constantly trying to improve. His coaches were amazed by how quickly he absorbed information. Most players take years to develop the instincts needed for international cricket. But Nuwan seemed to understand the game naturally. His unorthodox bowling action, which might have been corrected in a younger player, was left largely unchanged because it worked. He could generate pace and movement that troubled even experienced batsmen in practice matches. The academy years were crucial in shaping not just Nuwan's technique, but his mindset. He learned that cricket is as much a mental game as a physical one. Fast bowling especially requires mental toughness, the ability to come back strong after being hit for boundaries, the persistence to keep hitting good lengths even when luck isn't going your way. Nuwan developed this mental strength remarkably quickly, perhaps because starting late had already taught him the value of perseverance. By 2011, just 3 years after starting his cricket journey seriously, Nuwan achieved what seemed impossible. He received his first call-up to the Sri Lankan national team. From someone who had never held a leather ball at 20, he was now selected to represent his country at the highest level of cricket. The transformation was complete, but the journey was just beginning. His Test debut came against the West Indies, a moment that must have felt surreal for someone with such an unconventional path to international cricket. standing on the field. Wearing Sri Lanka's colors, Nuwan represented something unique, proof that talent can emerge at any age and that the traditional path isn't the only way to reach the top. His bowling on debut showed why he had been selected. The pace was there, the accuracy was improving, and his ability to take wickets was evident. What made Nuwan special wasn't just his speed, but his ability to create pressure. Fast bowlers are expected to take wickets, but they're also supposed to make batting difficult. Nuwan excelled at both. His unorthodox action meant batsmen couldn't easily predict what was coming. Some deliveries would swing, others would hit the deck hard and bounce awkwardly. This unpredictability became his trademark and made him a valuable asset to the Sri Lankan bowling attack. Over his international career, Nuwan played 28 test matches for Sri Lanka. Each appearance was a testament to how far he had come from that 20-year-old who won a local bowling contest. He wasn't the most celebrated cricketer or the one who grabbed headlines regularly, but he was consistent and reliable. When Sri Lanka needed wickets, when partnerships needed to be broken, Nuwan was often the man they turned to. His success wasn't limited to test cricket. In the shorter formats, one-day internationals and 2020s, Nuwan's skills were equally valuable. His ability to bowl fast and accurately made him ideal for limited overs cricket, where every ball matters. He could bowl in different situations, with the new ball in the middle overs or at the death when batsmen were looking to score quickly. This versatility made him a complete package as a fast bowler. One of the highlights of Nuwan's international career was being selected for Sri Lanka's 2015 World Cup squad. The World Cup is every cricketer's dream, and for someone who had started so late, it represented the pinnacle of achievement. Sri Lanka reached the quarterfinals of that tournament, and Nuwan played his part in their journey. Taking wickets on the world's biggest stage, with millions watching, must have been incredibly satisfying for someone whose cricket story had begun just 8 years earlier. The 2015 World Cup also showcased Nuwan's ability to perform under pressure. World Cup matches are different from regular internationals. The stakes are higher, the pressure is intense, and every ball can change the course of a game. Nuwan handled these situations well, proving that his late start hadn't affected his ability to cope with high-pressure cricket. His performances in the tournament further established his reputation as a reliable fast bowler who could be counted on when it mattered most. However, like many fast bowlers, Nuwan's career was eventually affected by injuries. Fast bowling is one of the most physically demanding aspects of cricket. The constant running, the stress on joints and muscles, the wear and tear of bowling at high speeds, all of this takes a toll on a player's body. Nuwan, despite his relatively late start, wasn't immune to these challenges. Injuries began to limit his availability for selection, and gradually, his appearances in the national team became less frequent. The reality of injuries in fast bowling is something that affects almost every pace bowler. The human body isn't designed to repeatedly perform the unnatural action of fast bowling. Even with modern fitness techniques and medical support, injuries are almost inevitable for fast bowlers. For Nuwan, this meant that his international career, though impactful, was shorter than it might have been if he had started earlier and had more time before the physical demands caught up with him. Despite the setback of injuries, Nuwan's love for cricket didn't diminish. When his international career wound down, he transitioned to domestic cricket, joining the Lanka Premier League. The LPL had become an important competition in Sri Lankan cricket, attracting both local and international players. For Nuwan, playing in the LPL with the Dambola Sixers was a way to continue playing competitive cricket while also giving back to the sport that had given him so much. In the LPL, Nuwan took on a different role. He wasn't just a player anymore, he was also a mentor and guide for younger cricketers. His unique journey from a complete beginner to an international player made him an inspirational figure for aspiring cricketers. Young players in the league could look at Nuwan and understand that success in cricket doesn't always follow a traditional path. His presence in the domestic league added value beyond just his bowling skills. The transition from international to domestic cricket is often difficult for players. The crowds are smaller, the stakes seem lower, and the glory is diminished. But Nuwan approached domestic cricket with the same dedication he had shown throughout his career. He understood that cricket had given him opportunities he never expected, and continuing to play at any level was a privilege, not a burden. Throughout his career, there have been various speculations about Nuwan's financial situation. Some reports have suggested he has accumulated significant wealth, with figures ranging from $1 to $5 million being mentioned. However, these claims are largely unsubstantiated and should be viewed with skepticism. Nuwan himself has never publicly discussed his finances, maintaining privacy about his personal wealth. What's more important than speculation about his financial status is understanding what Nuwan's career represents. His success wasn't measured in luxury cars or expensive homes, but in the achievement of reaching the highest level of cricket despite starting so late. His story shows that success can be defined in many ways, and that the most valuable rewards often come from pursuing your passion rather than chasing money. Nuwan's lifestyle has always been relatively simple and private. Unlike some modern cricketers who actively share their personal lives on social media, Nuwan has kept his private life away from public attention. There are no reports of extravagant spending or a lavish lifestyle. This approach reflects his grounded nature and his focus on cricket rather than the trappings of success. The privacy he maintains about his personal life is actually quite refreshing in an age where athletes often feel pressured to share everything with their fans. Nuwan's choice to keep his personal and professional lives separate allows his cricket achievements to speak for themselves. His legacy isn't built on his lifestyle or wealth, but on his remarkable journey from a late starter to an international cricketer. Today, Nuwan Pradeep's story continues to inspire young cricketers across Sri Lanka and beyond. His journey proves several important points about sports and life in general. First, it's never too late to discover your talent or pursue your dreams. Second, natural ability means nothing without hard work and dedication. Third, success doesn't always follow the expected path, and sometimes the most extraordinary stories come from the most unlikely beginnings. His impact extends beyond just his own achievements. By showing that cricket success is possible even with a late start, Nuwan has probably inspired many others to take up the sport or pursue their dreams despite feeling they might be too old. His story challenges the conventional wisdom that elite athletes must start training from early childhood. While early specialization certainly has its advantages, Nuwan's career proves it's not the only path to success. For young cricketers today, Nuwan Pradeep represents hope and possibility. His story tells them that even if they haven't been playing since childhood, even if they don't come from cricketing families, even if they feel they've started too late, success is still possible with enough dedication and hard work. This message is particularly powerful in a sport where many talented individuals might give up too early, thinking they've missed their chance. The cricket world is better for having players like Nuwan Pradeep. His unique journey adds richness to the sport's narrative and proves that talent can emerge from anywhere at any time. His story will continue to be told to future generations of cricketers as an example of what's possible when determination meets opportunity. As he continues to play domestic cricket and mentor young players, Nuwan's contribution to Sri Lankan cricket extends beyond his playing statistics. He represents the idea that cricket, and indeed any sport, should be inclusive and welcoming to talent regardless of when it emerges. His legacy will live on not just in the wickets he took or the matches he played, but in the dreams he inspired and the conventional thinking he challenged. Nuwan Pradeep's cricket journey from a 20-year-old beginner to an international star remains one of the most remarkable stories in modern cricket, proving that with passion and persistence, extraordinary things are possible. Discover how a complete beginner became Sri Lanka's pace sensation against all odds.